Good morning and happy Sunday, everybody. This is my weekly Clearing the Bases episode where I cover all the topics that hit in the past week that either I didn't have time to cover in a video or they didn't rise to the level of their own video. We have a lot to get through, so we're going to jump right in. I hope I have everything in kind of some semblance of an order. So let's jump in here. Okay, sharing my screen. First of all, Geoff Wilson. I just want to be clear. I think Geoff does a lot of really good things for the hobby. Every time I mention Geoff Wilson, a lot of his supporters come out of the woodwork who've never watched one of my videos, and they defend him. Uh, so I just want to say I think he does a lot of good things for the hobby. I think that in the last couple of years, he has shifted to more collector-focused videos than just investment. This one, though, he says that because the 1984, he bought a 1984 Star Jordan in a PSA 8 2 years ago at the National for $100,000. Or was that the National? Anyway, it was about 2 years ago for $100,000. And he says last night one sold on Golden for $244,000. And so he's taking a victory lap here, but on um, YouTube, he's saying, I made $144,000 on this card. And he's calling it $144,000 profit. And I asked him, did you not sell your card? Because clearly he says last night one sold on Golden for that much. He doesn't respond, but he did respond to somebody else where they asked him, why'd you sell your Holy Grail card? And he said, I didn't. Someone else's sold, just set a new high point for the card. And this was a big topic of conversation on Twitter last week because Geoff was claiming to have received $144,000 profit on his card. And this isn't a big deal. It's somebody said, you don't understand content creation to me. He has to lie in his title to get clicks, and that makes it okay. And I was like, well, lie in your title? But Auburn 35, who is a great contributor here, he says, here's the copy Geoff showcased in his purchase video 2 years ago. Oddly enough, the card is in a different PSA registry, meaning when I click in here, you can see it is in John Weiss's PSA registry. Don't know who John Weiss is, but that's not, that is definitely not Geoff Wilson. And it's been upgraded. Now it has a gold MBA sticker. So does Geoff even have his copy to profit from? Auburn 35 says. Or is the registry wrong? Did he already sell or trade his copy? Now, it's very possible here that the registry, while not wrong, it just hasn't been updated. Geoff may not have claimed it in his registry. Geoff may not even use the registry as an investor. But I feel like sorry, I should have kept this up here. We know, based on John Weiss's registry, this is the Olympic Dream Team 1992 registry, which Geoff is a collector of. So I don't know. It's possible that he doesn't even have the card anymore. It's possible that he does. I just found it really strange that he's claiming $144,000 profit just because somebody else sold theirs at that price. And just because somebody else got $244,000 doesn't mean yours is going to. This post from the One Memorabilia group implies the person from that video reacquired the card from Geoff. If correct, the time frame lines up with the National. So, and One Memorabilia group says that Geoff sold it back. It's just odd. All right, Fanatics Collect. I tried using Fanatics Collect last week. I just wanted to sign up and see because I'm close to selling some cards, and I thought I'll see if I can sell some cards, and it is extraordinarily difficult. Somebody else has my phone number listed on their account, and I've had the same phone number for 15 years. And so when I signed up, it said we can't sign you up because this phone number is already listed on somebody else's account, and there's no help, no no way to get any help at all. They had AI chat that just kept telling me, "I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Please hold while I find somebody who can help you." Nobody came on, and then it said, "Somebody will contact you within 24 hours," and they didn't. Um, so this person says, "Highly recommend using Fanatics Collect when selling cards. Highly discourage when buying." They emailed this guy Adam, won an auction, and then Fanatics Collect canceled the sale because this card was not displayed properly and mostly likely did not perform as well as it would have. Again, we are very sorry for any inconvenience this causes you. So the seller didn't get how much he wanted from it, filed a complaint, and Fanatics sided with the seller. Now, I'm going to show you what this is. You can see here, it's chrome draft black refractor, PSA 10 rookie auto numbered to 75. Here it is. This person found it. JT found the sale, and it's true. It is covered up. It's a PSA 10. I have to think it's got a lot of eyeballs on it. Does it say how much it sold for? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Uh, but why did they post this photo and then wait until after it sold? It's just odd. It's a strange thing for the seller to do, and also strange for Fanatics to say, yeah, we're going to cancel that sale. What do you think? Cards with a Story says, as someone who used to work there, I can promise you that they do not care about the buyers on their platform. They barely care about the sellers unless you're posting super high-end stuff. Their customer support is about as useful as a wet napkin. And then TJ has some similar stories, and there are a lot of them in the comments there. It's unfortunate. By the way, this video is sponsored by the Penny Sleever, the best supplies in the industry, in my opinion, at fantastic prices. You can use my code JWH at checkout for your first order to get 10% off. I use their semi-rigids and their top loaders a lot. I've heard from buyers, from subscribers of mine who also use their mags. Fantastic product. In my opinion, again, the best semi-rigids in the industry. JWH at checkout for 10% off. All right, Liz Morton says an eBay glitch changed sellers' prices on trading card listings, creating havoc with some items selling for far less than they should, which seems like a big problem. I only saw one post about it. Listed a card on eBay for $19.99. For some reason, it showed up at $1.99, sold in 13 seconds before he could edit it. Yeah, it seems bad. The PSA 9 Jordan 84 star sold for more than $1 million. It's the fourth record in the last 2 weeks for that card in any specific grade. Man, a few years ago when these were selling for pennies, but not literally pennies, and not being graded by PSA, I thought I should buy one of these, but I never did. It was still expensive. All right, thoughts out to Wade Boggs, Chicken Man, who announced that he has prostate cancer. Not card related, just baseball related. Hope Wade's going to be okay. All right, so last week I reported on, and everybody reported on, the Wilt Chamberlain SGC 10 that sold for $1.7 million. And nobody had ever seen one of the PSA 10s in this, but it was sent to me by the buyer of the SGC 10. I don't know how he obtained it, but just look at this. Look at how off center this is. And this was graded probably 20 plus years ago. Somebody speculated in the late 90s based on the cert number. look at how off center it is, left to right, and a little top to bottom. And then, yeah, when I there's this little white bar too that is on a lot of these, but not on all of them. That should downgrade the value. To me, it's strange that PSA's grading standards have changed so much. Like, how is this ever a 10? I don't know. Ryan Statler, who's great on Twitter, put them side by side. The SGC 10 and the PSA 10. Is it better? Yeah, this way, I guess, is better. And he lined them up pretty nicely. The SGC 10 doesn't have that white bar at the bottom. And while the centering isn't perfect, it doesn't need to be on an SGC 10. A lot of people said, oh, the centering isn't perfect. Well, for an SGC pristine 10, it has to be perfect. And that's with the gold label instead of black. On a Gem Mint 10, it only has to be 5545. So there's a pretty big difference there. This is easily 5545. This is spectacular copy compared to what looks almost like a diamond cut a little bit up here. I don't think it is. It just has this weird appearance to it. It might just be the scan. This, yeah. Let me know what you think. Which one of these is better? To me, it's very, very clear. Oh, another thing. People have said, oh, that left edge can't be a 10. At best, it's a 7 or an 8. The left edge, and really kind of the right edge too, is called a rough cut. And both PSA and SGC love the rough cut. It shows that it's legit. It's the way those were supposed to have been cut back then with a lot of the vintage sets. All right. I found this odd in a couple of ways. A shop customer here at Bridgeport Hobby in Chicago just ended the Topps Pro debut chase. This guy here pulled the Paul Skeens. And this set just came out with Paul Skeens in a minor league uniform. And we're at the end of 2024. Why are they releasing? Oh, I know people are going to say they do this every time. That doesn't make it right. It's just such a strange thing. And for a hobby shop to say, and I'm sure he's joking, but a shop customer just ended the Topps Pro debut chase. Did he already sell out, or is he just saying nobody come and buy this? I just found it odd. What do you think? Last week in my Sunday video, I talked about this Brock Purdy with the damage that what I didn't know, and Auburn 35 again, found this. The original seller who had done a really nice job of, I actually originally found it here after my video last week. The seller who sold it to the dealer, I assume, had put damaged bottom right corner in his listing, made it very clear. But before that, they had sent it raw. They tried to list it raw on eBay. Sold for $9,000 with no mention of the damage. And then they had to relist it. You see here, it's quick consign, and this is quick consign. And so with the damage, we're assuming that because of the authenticity guarantee and it sold for $9,000, that eBay / PSA or CGC, whoever's doing the authenticity guarantee, said no, you have to list the damage, and so they decided to get it graded by PSA. So they did try to sneak it through initially. Okay. Will Stern, great reporter in the hobby, writes about the packs that are selling on eBay. So I pulled up some packs, and one sold since his article for $1,500, but they were selling for $4,000. And we know, if you don't know this yet, this is an interesting little fact about eBay. On a sold listing, if it says sold or best offer, it's possible. If it's not crossed out, it's still possible that the seller I'm trying to think of the order here. It's either they received an offer or made an offer and accepted it, and then eBay will not tell you the actual price it sold for. But 130 Point does, and it is confirmed to have been for $39.99. Another one sold for $30.50. Another sold for $2,500, all within days of each other. But then one of them sold for $1,500. 2025, 1,500, 30.50, 2,500, 2,900 on an auction. It's pretty crazy. All right, sports card Walt. This was a hot topic a little bit less this past week. Panini. This is what product is this? Mosaic. If the value of basically the second best rookie parallel exclusive to retail doesn't even pay for the cost of a blaster, then yikes, big time yikes. This is Brandon Miller, who was the second best rookie in the NBA last year. There could be some debate, but I think it was Brandon Miller. And this is his red seismic number to 299, second only to Wemby, I guess. Sold for $28, and that doesn't even cover the cost of a blaster. And I know collectors don't care what the price of blasters, but you do because they're so expensive. And then we have a Maxi PSA 8 Panini Select Gold Prism rookie card, sold for $910. And because it's an 8, it appears that the buyer cracked it out of the slab, put it in a fake Panini, it's probably a real Panini One Touch, and then put a Panini sticker over it to make it look like a direct Panini sale. It's the same number. It's 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. And then they've sold it for a 67% profit, $600 profit. That is insanely shady, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in comments. Is this cool to do? Is this fine? I feel like there is a shift, even for the investors, especially publicly on YouTube, where they're saying you have to disclose damage, you have to disclose any changes like this, which is good. I just don't know if they're actually doing it in real life. Okay, remember the Memory Lane, Strongsville, $2.1 million card theft. The two suspects are in discussions for a plea deal. Here they are. Nothing new other than that. All right, any articles I talk about, not all of them, but some articles that I talk about that I can't really cover in this, like behind the sports trading card industry's rapid growth and what's next, I will have in my newsletter this week, junkwaxhero.com. You can sign up for it. Sign up for my newsletter at junkwaxhero.com. It's free, and you'll receive that on Monday morning. All right, as if you've been following my channel for a while, where is this sale? Huh, it's weird. Oh, view original listing. You know that I sold a Caitlin Clark Sports Illustrated for Kids autograph for $1,850 back in, I don't know, April. It was before the Final Four, yeah, so April. And sold it for $1,850, and I've been anxious about it. Like, did I make the right decision to sell? Because I am not a big seller, and I am a big Caitlin Clark fan. And so I've been watching these other sales since then. It's so silly. I mean, I bought some amazing cards with those funds. But here's one that sold for, apparently, according to eBay, $2,900. And even if you go into the sold listings, it says $2,900. So I panicked a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I could have gotten $1,000 more. But no, according to 130 Point, it sold for $1,775. So this is one of those examples where you have to go to 130 Point. So I still have the highest selling public Sports Illustrated for Kids Caitlin Clark autograph. All right, Ryan, who is a great seller. I actually just bought some cards from him. I'm going to highlight them in a upcoming pickup video. I bought a card from him, and he threw in some little goodies with it. Ryan, aka Brewers Beat, great Twitter account, and he did a test. He said he sent 10 PSA slabs, 1 out of 10 PSA slabs, SGC cracked, and gave a bump. Oh, so he sent them 10 PSA slabs. Only one of them did SGC crack and give a bump. So 56 tops Eddie Matthews went from a PSA 4 to an SGC 5. In fairness, there were some cards that were a 7, and I said not to crack unless it was a 9. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. And then he also says, here's how Greg Morris self-grades compared to PSAs. In total, I bought 47 cards from Greg Morris eBay that were listed as near mint to mint or better. All cards are tops from 1960 to 71 baseball. There were 0 10s, 1 9, 1 8.5, 13 8s. So that's 15 out of the 47 were near mint to mint as claimed. It's about 30%. The 7 min size not met have all gotten a grade by SGC. And we know, based on other videos, like Mike, Baseball Collector, has posted a video where he took a bunch of min size not met from PSA, sent them to SGC, and all or most of them either received a grade or an authentic from SGC. I just thought this was interesting that Greg Morris, who gets amazing sales numbers for sellers, is only hitting the near mint or better on this. Remember, this is a small sample size. This is not a representative sample. Only hit about 30% on Ryan's sample. This is interesting. I always say this. Heritage is they're so great at social media, and I don't know anybody at Heritage. I have never been sponsored by them, but I highlight their stuff because they do a great job of it. The OG Wax Pack, 1910 Century Drum Tobacco, 5-cent pouch, still sealed with the 1910 tax stamp intact. Within are tobacco cards with the rare drum back that haven't seen the light of day in 114 years. That is spectacular. And they ask, would you rip this? So let me know in comments. Would you? I wouldn't. I would hang on to it. I have a Piedmont pack that is just a piece of history. Neo Cards and Comics reports that the Dallas Card Show, which had the big ash theft for a significant amount of money, dealers had to sign an agreement that the Dallas Card Show is not responsible for any theft. Sure enough, Dallas Card Show is not liable for any loss, theft, or damage to vendors' property. I thought that was interesting. Just thought this was a sick card. It's Topps Finest Soto. Future So Bright. Just a really cool looking card. And I criticize Topps a lot, so I want to make sure I'm showing some appreciation for some of the stuff they put out too. I don't know. Maybe I love Soto too. Neo again posted about how CGC's new slabs are bending books. They're warping. And CGC put out a statement saying that yes, they are warping and they are making small bends in books, but it's no big deal. They say we do not consider the slight curve to be a mechanical error that requires reholdering. Ugh, that's rough. I'm not a comic book collector, but okay. Paul Lesko, the hobby attorney, Topps filed a trademark application for Garbage Pail Kids, which covers an ongoing television series and electronic game services. Guys, it's 1989 all over again. This is fantastic. It says it right here. Ongoing television series featuring fictional characters in comedy, drama, fantasy, horror, action, and adventure stories. Huh? That's pretty exciting. Suze posts that Wade Meckler has become a cult hero on the baseball card subreddit. He did an AMA, and somebody asked him if he keeps any of his cards, and he replied that he keeps the player issue cards, which I have never seen before. So that's cool. Player issue number to 5, Wade Meckler autograph. Yeah, that's very cool. He says he can't keep. He says there have been a few more that I've signed that I thought were really cool and wanted to keep, but he's not able to do that. Oldest basketball ticket Heritage has ever handled from a 1896 game between the YMCA Maroons and New Britain High School. Whenever I hear Maroons, I think about Bugs Bunny. What a maroon. This is just 4 years after Dr. Naismith invented the game of basketball. That's awesome. Very cool piece of history. And again, Heritage. Funny how, if you're a fan of Goodfellas, this is a very cool card with autograph. Cigarette case has an etched autograph from Babe Ruth, and you can see it here. He etched his autograph in this cigarette case, and it's been authenticated by PSA. I wonder how they authenticate an etched autograph. Let me know if you know. This guy pulled the one-of-one Shohei Babe Ruth autograph, dual autograph. I just thought it was cool. Top says, you won't believe what he got in the mail. Yeah. Here is the one-of-one Steph Curry KD after the semifinal, or it's, I guess, during the semifinal game. So there's one-of-one gone, which is probably part of why those packs have declined in value, as I showed earlier in the video. And then actually, here's the other one-of-one. This kid, Andrew. This was Andy Zonneveld. His son pulled this card. It's the one-of-one Curry, James, Durant without the autograph. Gold one-of-one. Very cool. Lucky kid. It's good seeing kids hit these things. All right, Tom Brady, Wizard of Oz program from 1991, almost a decade before he debuted in the NFL. Signed to Tommy Brady. Sold for almost $11,000 at Golden. Pretty cool stuff. Remember, sign up for my newsletter. The link is in the description to this video, along with the link to the penny sleever for all your supplies needs. And that is all I have today, guys. Let me know in the comments anything you think is interesting. And I've got my Don Bradman upside down up there. I forgot to move it. My wife likes to flip these upside down, especially on days when I'm not working. I just kind of rush down here, do my video and leave, and I don't notice that she's done it. And she knows the perfect time. She always gets me right before I do a video too. All right. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Enjoy football.